everybody, it's Doreen, and I'm back today with another birthday card, but this birthday card is actually a belated birthday card. With all the things that I've got going on between work full-time and some other crafting that I've been doing, I actually forgot a birthday for the month of July, and I felt really bad about it, and I decided I was going to still go ahead and make the card anyway because I wanted my husband's grandnephew to know that I was thinking about him. I just forgot. So I'm going to bring up the card so you can see what it looks like. So this is the card that we will be making, and as you can see, I have a little minion on here, and I've got Despicably Me, I Missed Your Birthday. So, this minion was actually made using the Silhouette Studio software and your Silhouette Cameo, or your Silhouette Portrait if you have that, and your printer. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card.
Okay everybody, so before we go ahead and get started and make our card, I wanted to show you how I got the little minion for the front of the card. Now, when I found this image, I found it a while ago and I couldn't remember where I got it because I'm always searching on the internet and I don't always write things down, which I should. So if that ever happens to you, there is a way to go back and find out where you got the image, and if you've loaded it onto your computer. So real quickly, I'm going to show you how I did go back and find my image. So you want to go to Google Images. So I'm just going to go up to the top here, and it's images.google.com, and pick that option. And then right here is a little camera where it says search by image. So I'm going to click that button, and then I'm going to click upload an image. So I'm going to browse out and find my image. Now, it was a PNG file, which I found, like I said, on the internet. And here it is right here. I have it in a folder, and I'm just going to click open. And what it's going to do is go out and look for that image. And so as you can see, it's right here. And the image size was 3,000 by 5,000, and if you want to click on that, which you can, then you can go ahead and click your image, and then what you'll do is right click and do a save image as, and then you'll name it. So since I already got it out there, I'm not going to do that, but that's how you can go ahead and find your image after you don't remember where you got it from, or if you're looking for a particular image that you remembered seeing before but you can't remember where you saw it at, you can do a search on an image. So now let's go ahead and move over to our Silhouette software, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in our little minion. And as you can see, excuse me, as you can see, he's not so small, so I'm going to go ahead and resize him. Okay, as you can see, I started resizing him. I apologize, I've been having problems with my allergies, so my throat does sound, or my voice sounds a little froggy right now. So, okay, we're going to leave him at this size. And the other thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and reveal my mat. So now, if we were to go to the cut window right now, as you can see, this is not going to cut. And you know why? Because you don't see your little red lines around here. So the Silhouette does not know what this is. So we're going to tell it what it is. Now, one of the things that I did find when I was doing this is I've done these many times before, and for some reason when I updated the software for the Designer Edition, it doesn't work the way I used to do it. So I had to do a lot of maneuvering and a lot of doing this over and over and over again until I got it to work. Now, I'm not saying that this is the right way to do this, but this was the only way I could get this to do the print and cut. If someone knows another way, once you see what I'm doing to do this, please leave me a comment in the comments box below this video, because I tell you, I had a really hard time doing this. So now that I've got my minion on here, I'm going to go up to the trace window, so that's still the same, and I'm going to pick the area that I want to be traced, because we're going to tell the silhouette to cut this after we print it. So I'm going to highlight and grab the area that I want to trace, and in all the videos that I've ever seen, it always tells you to take the high pass filter off. I don't know why, and if you're supposed to do that, I don't know why they actually have it there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the high pass filter off, and then as you can see, we've only got part of his body. So the next thing I do is I go ahead and mess with the threshold, the scale window, so that I can get his body, the whole thing, and then I mess with this threshold. Now this is different for everyone. You just have to keep playing with this until you get it. Your whole goal is to get it where the whole thing becomes yellow. Now the next thing that I would do, or what I used to do, is I would go over to here, because I don't want all this white or this area here. I just want the minion. I would go up and click the trace and detach. But as you can see, when I do that now, this is what I get. And if I went to the cut window and clicked on cut, I have this little border around here, and I don't want that, because that's gonna actually, it will cut around here, but then it's a waste of paper, and we know how I don't like to waste things. And even if I did a cut edge, same thing. So I don't know what happened, but that is what is happening now ever since I did the upgrade of the software. So I'm just going to do an undo. We're going to put it back together, and we're going to go back to our trace window, and I'm just going to do trace outer edge. So now if I move my little guy over, I just have just this piece right here, which is fine. So the next thing that I found that I had to do was I had to go to my cut window again and tell this to do a no cut. But first you need to highlight it and then tell it to do a no cut. And from here, after I've done this, I then went in, and because I want a little border around my minion, I went up to my offset and I clicked offset, and I have it set to do a distance of 0.125. So what'll happen is when you put this together, it will just cut the outer edge and not the inside edge here. Now one thing that I did forget to do is I do want it to print my line. So I'm going to change my line color to black, and I want it to also print that. So on the, let me make sure we're going to, on the line style, we're going to go down to here and say print selected line, so that when this does print this, it will also print this as well. So now if we go over to our cut style window again, we have that it doesn't know that it's supposed to cut this. So now I'm going to tell it to cut edge, and except we're on the wrong one. We want to cut this one on the edge. Oh, I still got the wrong one. Let's see how we grab that one and then cut edge. So now it will only just cut the outer edge of this one, and it will print this one. So next thing you're wondering is, now what? Okay, so this is what I ended up having to do. I went ahead and grabbed all of this, and I click my align window, and I said align center. So now everything is aligned up, and then you're gonna right click and click group. So now when we bring this over, and I'm gonna move over here, and then I click on the cut style window, you'll notice that it's only gonna cut that edge, and we will print this portion. So that's how I did it, everybody. I don't know why I had to do it this way, because I've never had to do it this way before. But ever since, like I said, I did the updated version of the Silhouette software, the way I was previously doing it didn't work. Now, I don't know if this is the right way to do this, but this is how I got it to cut. So you can go ahead and try what I just did. And if you do know another way to do this, please, like I said before, leave me a comment on this video. So now you go ahead and do what I just did. Oh, I'm sorry, I also forgot to tell you what size to cut him for him to fit on your card. So let's go ahead and resize him real quickly. So the actual size is, for the width, 2.633, and for your height, make sure you take your log aspect ratio off. For your height, you're going to do 4.388 and click apply. So that's what size you need to cut your minion. So now meet me back over at the table and we'll put this card together.
Okay, everybody, so now that I've shown you how I cut out the little minion, let's go ahead and put our card together. So now my card measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So what you'll do is just take a 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of cardstock and just cut that in half by cutting it at 4 1/4, and then you already have your 11 inches, and then you'll take that and score that, so then it becomes a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. Now this cardstock is just some regular old Recollections, I'm not sorry, some Joann Fabric textured cardstock. And I've already gone and used a print and cut to add my sentiment in the inside. So let's start putting our pieces together. So now the next layer that we're going to be adding, and we're not actually going to put it on the card just yet, is this layer right here. And this layer measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And that's going to sit on top of here. And then my next layer measures 3 3/4 by 3 1/2, and that will lay like so. And then the next layer after, and oh, I'm sorry, I also went ahead and ran this through my Cuttlebug folder. I believe it was a Cuttlebug. It's called the Spot Dots. And then I've gone ahead and taken another sheet of cardstock, and these are all scrap pieces of cardstock. And this piece measures 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. I had to write the measurements on the back of the cardstock so I would remember. And that's going to face here, and I once again ran it through one of my embossing folders. I think this one is called the Brick Walls. So that will sit here. And then, even though this is a card for a boy, I am going to put some ribbon and lay that right there. And then we'll add the rest of our embellishments, and then we'll have our finished card. So let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to start with getting this piece of cardstock on, and move this to the side for a minute. I'm going to use my ATG gun to add this. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up my card, make sure we put it on the right side. And then we'll just add this layer. But I almost forgot, before we put this down, we need to put the ribbon on. So I am going to actually put tape along here on my ribbon, and this is the HED tape. But what I need to do is measure out where we want that ribbon to go. So we need to put these pieces on so we can kind of judge. And I'm actually going to have to mark this so I know, because I want it to fit within that space there. So I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were able to see what I was doing. So I'm just going to mark with this pencil here a line so I know where I want to put my ribbon. And I forgot that I put the tape on the back of here. So we've got to pull this up. Okay. So let's try that again. Let's get our ribbon on here where I've got that pencil mark. So if you're making this card, don't put your tape on the back of here until you get your ribbon on. And then now we can put this on, and hopefully it's going to lay flat since I pulled it up the way I did. So you get to see me make a mistake there. One of these days I might do a blooper tape, because believe me, I do have a lot of bloopers when I'm recording. Okay, so now this should fit, and this piece should fit right here. And I believe we need to go this way. And I probably could have come down a little bit more. We're going to actually have that touching that. Probably should have put the ribbon down just a little bit further, but we're going to go with this. The other thing that I can do is I can take about 1/8 of an inch off of here, because I didn't want it to actually touch. So I'm going to do that off camera and then I'll come back. Okay everybody, so I'm back. All I did was take 1/8 of an inch off so that it now fits the way I want it to, where I have just a little bit of the cardstock from our bottom layer showing, and then we can go ahead and add this piece. So let's put this piece on here, and I'm once again going to use the ATG gun. It's a good thing that when I put the tape on that other piece, I didn't go overboard and I was able to pull it up. So we'll now add this layer, like so. And I apologize if I seem like I'm just not in the camera frame for you guys. Okay. So let's add our next piece, and that is going to be a layer down here. And actually it doesn't matter which way you face this. So we'll put that layer on next, and then we'll continue on with adding the rest of our pieces. So we'll put this layer down here, and I kind of want it to be a little bit further over. So thankfully that didn't stick. You know I don't like measuring anything, so I'm just winging this. Okay, so now we have all of our layers on our card. So let's continue on and adding the rest of our pieces. So now, what I've done also is I've used the print and cut once again, because I wanted to have my little greeting where I had my own little wording here. And I basically put on the front of the greeting Despicably Me, I Missed Your Birthday. So that's going to go over here. And then I've gone ahead and popped up our little minion that I've cut out. And he's going to sit right here. Like so. So now, let's go ahead and start adding these pieces. And I will put the item number for the bubble that I have here in the description bar. And I'll put it somewhere up here in the video as well. So let's get some tape on the back of here. And this is just a regular piece of copy paper. It's no cardstock. I didn't mind wasting. I don't know what's with me and taping things to my paper here. I didn't mind wasting one sheet of copy paper just to do this. And the other thing I also did was I ended up using my, you can see that Cricut pens that look like this. I'm sorry for that glare. In my Silhouette software, along with the holder that you can purchase for your Silhouette that allows you to have a pen inside the where you would normally have the blade. There is something called a pen holder, and let me show you what that looks like. Okay, it comes in a packaging like this. It's called the Silhouette pen holder, and I actually got this as a gift from Skylar. Thank you, Skylar. And what you do is you take your pen of any kind that you have, and it just sits down inside there, and then you go ahead and screw these two little knobs here, and that's just to hold the pen in place. And then what you'll do is take out your blade in your Silhouette and replace it with this, and rather than it doing a cut, it will actually draw your lines. So that's what I did along here on the edge right here. I took my line and made it a perforated line, and then it just drew. So I wanted to try that out because she gave me this a while ago and I hadn't used it. So I went ahead and put those on there. So let's go ahead and get some foam tape on here, and we're going to pop this up as well. And then we'll add another few little embellishments, and then we'll be done with the card. So I'm going to get some squares on here. And I'm going to pop that and set that over there. Now, one thing I also want to show you is I did cut this out more than once. This was my first one, and I decided I didn't like that. So then that's when I went back and did that outer edge there. And I like that one better. And we're going to sit him down here. So I'm going to go ahead and add everything on the card and add a few, maybe just a couple more embellishments, and I'll come back with the finished card and the envelope. Okay, everybody, so I'm back with the finished card. So this is what I've done. I've gone ahead and added some candies down here, and in case you don't know what those are, they come in a package like this, and I picked these up on a haul sometime last year, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was, because I haven't done a actual craft scrapbooking haul. And what I did was I purchased just 2 packages of the white, and I already had some in the other colors, and I decided, since I like to use these on the mail cards because I can't technically add any bling, I go ahead and then I color them in the color that I really want them to be. So, and it does stay because I'm using my Bic Market permanent markers to go ahead and color those in. And then I just add them with a little bit of hot glue. And then up here for his eye, I added a wiggly eye. I thought he'd get a kick out of that. And then for my envelope, I did use my We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board, and I made a box envelope. And just an FYI, Remember to put all of your stamping and image or whatever you're going to put on your envelope before you put it together. I, of course, forgot to do that once again, and that was because I decided at the last minute to add something. And I added the second minion that I had cut out because, you know, I don't like to waste anything, so I just added it to the envelope. And then I did a play on words stamp set that I have, and it basically says feeling crumbly, and that's because I forgot his birthday. And let us wish you a happy birthday. So that's it, everybody. This is the birthday card that I've made for my husband's grandnephew. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.